Hey, I'm Chris. Welcome to Panels in Progress, and today's video is a little bit different. I've made Artwod videos in the past, and I thought from reading all of your comments that maybe we should just take a look behind the paywall. So this video is not a review, it's kind of a glimpse behind what you get if you were paying the exact amount that I was paying, I guess, the premium tier. And I hope that maybe this will clear up some confusion about what Artwod actually has to offer. I'm not sponsored, but I am a supporter of the program, the application, and I just want to share what you actually can experience if you sign up for the premium tier. So, let's check it out. Okay, so this is the first thing you see when you use the application. I'm using my iPad Pro. I don't remember the generation. I think it's M4, but take that as you will. But this is what loads in when you use the application, which is pretty standard stuff. And for all of you who were like, the pricing, right here on the first page, it says start learning, view pricing. Then I click roadmap, which logs me into my personal feed. And so before I even get into what it looks like behind the paywall, I have to say that Artwod, since I've been a part of it, has changed its configuration many times, and I'm pretty sure it will continue to change its configuration. It's a small company that is very innovative, and they are trying new things all the time to see what works and what doesn't work. So how the platform looks has changed, but if you see this video somewhere far in the distant future, this is what it looks like at this time, 2026 in July. So it's broken down into 3 sections, which is figure, nature, and other. And I like this tree because it starts you in the beginner road, so it's intro to drawing. And if you look, all of the other categories are also, it still all starts with intro to drawing. So depending on if you want to go the more figure route, you have that process. If you want to go to a nature, you have that. And then of course there's some other things you can go after you do intro to drawing, but it all begins with intro to drawing. I picked at the time figures, so I did intro to drawing and I did intro to portraits. Now the path was a little bit different back then, but it's still basically the same. I think one of the critiques I had in previous iterations of the Artwod beginner path was that I wasn't quite sure which way I should go, but I've also done the nature path, so I've done figure drawing, then straight into intro to environments, and I haven't gone anything further. And then on the other path, I did intro to painting and I did cell shading. But as you can see, they have a lot to offer in what they consider their beginner tier. So that is that portion of it. Then you also have the practice tabs. Now these are pretty cool. You have random practice, challenge of the month, and then sketchbook. Sketchbook is just an open canvas where you can draw whatever you like. Now I'm gonna say that I don't care for the actual usage of the app as far as drawing in it. I think it's a bit cumbersome. I think there's still a lot to work on when it comes to their interface. But yeah, you can draw on it. The challenge of the month. At this time, it is for the month of June, fill 1 sketchbook page every day with at least 3 objects subject that feel like they belong to the same space. You got a demo from, I guess, the main artist that is hosting the channel. And you can draw here and you'll get 50 XP points. The one thing to notice about Artwod is that you do get XP, but it's the gamification of drawing. And then the random practice is really cool because you can pick a random challenge or you can pick a road. So like if you're specifically working on you want to get better at portraits, or you want to get better at figures, or intro to painting, like whatever it is, it will give you a challenge specific to what that is instead of just something random. And I think that's pretty cool too. That can keep you moving and maybe keep you engaged even after you finish the course. So for instance, I finished Intro to Environments. Let's do an environment one. So now it's giving me 3 different choices. Intro to Environments workout, which is sketch 3 versions of each element using the provided reference, experiment with different levels of exaggerated proportions. It's giving me Intro to Environments, complete this forest drawing by drawing the background in a group of trees based on the reference. So this is a puzzle, and then it's another puzzle where it's just a tree trunk, and you can choose you basically can choose your own difficulty or choose your own path. Or if you don't like any of these, suggest different challenges, and it'll move through the challenges again and give you something completely different. Now, I don't know if these are pulled directly from the course itself, but if it is, that's fine because it makes sense. But if it's not, then that's a whole nother level of great innovation, I think. So that is the practice tab. Very cool. The collaborate, I'm going to be honest, I haven't messed with this part of it yet. I do believe that this is the free section of it. Like anyone, whether you're paying for it or not, will get access to this. And this is where you can share your work with the community, the Artwod community, and get feedback. And this is really cool. This guy's Dracula and Friend in Italy. This is pretty cool. This person working on rendering. That's cool. Figure. Trying to work on figures. And that's another thing. In showing you this, you see how these are hand drawn. You do not have to do everything in Artwod. You can draw in your sketchbook and you can add it in. Like this, I'm pretty sure this was not done in Artwod because looks like color pencil and maybe pen. It could be digital, but I don't think so. Stippling. But this is pretty cool. And so you have, like, these are people. Number 9 is Artwod guy. These are his feedbacks that he is giving on other people's work. He actually used this one for a video of his. But this is great. This is his way of interacting with the community directly, and I really like that he does that. Because this is a comic channel, let's look at these comic artworks. So what is play loop? I don't know. Version 1. This is really my first time seeing these, but this is really cool. So that is the collaborate space. Now let's see, how do you get back to Community Hub, Artwod? So I am in Artwod. How do you go back to practice? Oh, okay. So that's how you get out of it. So you hit collaborate, and then these are the dashboards. So there's a leaderboard, and here's the learn, which will take you back to your thing. The other thing that is cool about Artwod is, let's look at these points. I guess my profile. But basically, this is my current rankings. All these badges mean something. So I'm a roadmap learner. I have completed the roadmap explorer, roadmap adventurer, and then it says complete the beginner course, which I did. So I'm not quite sure. Complete the beginner painting course, which I did. So I'm not sure why I didn't get that badge, but okay. But it says I'm like level 8, level 9, level 8, and all of these. Let's see the details. So here's the stats for Artwod. It is, 1 is for structure, manipulation, observation, education, emulation, and imagination. And as you see, I've done a lot of structure studies. Apparently I haven't done a lot of manipulation studies. Decent at observation. Education is pretty good. Very low on emulation and very low on imagination. And you get these points by completing the task, if that matters to you. Like this part, it really doesn't matter to me, but it's fine. Okay, so I want to kind of show you what it's like to have a lesson on Artwod, what that looks like. We will do a intro to figures. That's the one I'm currently working on, and this is arm structure. So what will happen is this video opens up. The video is always first. This particular one is 5 minutes. We will watch the video and see how it is explained, and they show examples and they explain, and I think the teachers do a really good job on doing this. Now, not every single course has videos. I came across the painting course and the cell shading course, and they do not have videos, but you still have all the information that you need to draw. After the video is complete, you go to the drawing section. And now you have your canvas, which leads into the first of 3 exercises. Sometimes there's only two exercises, but sometimes there's 3, and you will have your instructions. So the assignment is to trace the simplified arm structure on top of the figures. I hide this little bar so I can actually see what I'm doing. And it says trace the arm structure. Here you have your colors that you can color pick from, and you have layers. This is new. You only have 2 layers though. You can move your thing, eraser, pen, pencil, and it says trace the arm. So what I'm going to do is zoom in, and I'm going to trace the structure. Now, I didn't watch the video, so I'm not even sure like how they want the structure to be, but I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes for you guys. Usually he likes contour lines, so that's why I'm adding contour lines. And then this one, let's trace that arm. Now, like I said, I'm not really that big of a fan of the drawing in the app features, but for stuff like this, it's simple. But I would actually prefer to use Clip Studio Paint. Alright, so after that, after you complete the lesson, you hit submit. And what's great about submit is this is actually something new where you get a feedback video as well. In some of the earlier videos or some of the earlier courses, there was no feedback video. But what I do like about it is that after each submission, you get a Artwod solution to know if you're doing it right, which I can obviously tell that because I didn't watch the video, I didn't do it right. But you see how he's using cylinders, and I said that there will be contour lines and then shapes. So, I mean, it all makes sense. And then what you could choose to do is either go back where it says redo submission and redo it, or you can hit continue and go to the next. And you can always, even let's say I do this one, which looks like this, bop, bop. Even after I do this one, let's say I am not feeling confident about how I'm handling this, you can still go back. So even though I'm doing the second one, I can go back to the first one and I can still hit redo submission. So the other thing, the last couple things I want to talk about is regarding your membership. So you go to my plan and it'll say what kind of membership you have. I have premium. It's 64.8 euros. It tells you how long you've been active. It tells you when's the next time you're going to pay, because I'm paying quarterly. And right there, if you want to cancel, the cancel button's right there. If you want to change your plan, it's right there. It tells you about discounts that you can claim, but it's only on yearly things, so I can't take advantage of whatever discounts are going on right now. And then it has all your things. And then if you want, now this is actually new, because I remember one time I had some questions about something and I wanted to ask a question and I had no idea how to get in contact with anyone. But now they have a get in touch where you can send an email directly to them. And maybe that was always there and I just never noticed it. But if you need to, it's there. My submissions, this is basically everything that you worked on since you've been in the app. So my workouts, these are all from classes that I did from way back when. My lessons, my puzzles, and my practice. Like, it houses seemingly everything. And it's interesting about these workouts is that some of these workouts, I did them within the lessons. But you can tell, well, maybe you can't tell, but there's some ones that I did directly in Clip Studio Paint, and then there's some that I did in this app. Like this particular one I did in Clip Studio Paint because this app doesn't have the ability to do that. And the ones that you can tell I did in this app, and then you have the points. So my submissions, is this button not working? Okay. I guess the one thing I don't even know anymore is that we have Artwod credits. You have 496 credits. I click on my submissions. I don't know what they're for. Now, when I started last year, when you got to the end of the beginner course, that intro to drawing course, when you got to the end of it, you could submit your work and have someone from Antonio or Artwod's staff look over it and give you feedback. And I did that one time. But when I got to the end of the landscaping course and I got to the end of, or actually, hold on. Yeah, I got to the end of the landscaping course and I got to the end of the coloring course. I did not see any buttons that I could use to give feedback for or to get feedback with. So let's see what happens here if I click. So that. Oh, look, like this one I can't get feedback on. That's interesting. I wonder why. Like this one, okay, so here's an example. It says need more work. So this is example of the feedback that I was given. And I think all the points were valid. I just never went back and actually fixed it. So that's on me. Yeah, you can't. So it looks like you can request feedback on. Okay, so yeah, I guess. So I take back my previous thing is that on certain submissions, you can still request feedback. Deluxe feedback and standard feedback. Let's see here. So deluxe standard feedback. Standard feedback offers written feedback on your assignment, offering insights on areas where you need to improve. For more in-depth feedback and visual correction, use deluxe. So standard feedback costs 20 credits. Deluxe feedback costs 100 credits. 100 credits says deluxe feedback offers feedback from industry professionals. This feedback is more detailed and offers a paint over where the professional shows you how to improve your work. And they have an example of the drawing and how it was changed. So that's pretty cool. So I have 496, so that means I could get 4 deluxe feedbacks and I could get a couple standard feedbacks. And I think for that one that I showed you guys, I guess standard was the only option back then and I got standard. But it looks like you can't get feedback on all of your things, because like these are all my lessons, some of which I'm really proud of and others not so much. So it looks like the feedback is regulated to my workouts. And then I guess you can go to collaborate and request feedback from anyone in the community. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that look behind the paywall where I'm just walking you through the application and letting you see what it's all about and what you can expect if you pay for that application. In other videos, I've talked about my thoughts on if it's worth the cost or the money. And at this point, I still say yes, I enjoy what I get out of the application, even though I'm still using the application to learn from. I still choose Clip Studio Paint to actually practice in. But other than that, I think Artwod is great for beginners, and I've learned a lot from Antonio and all the other teachers at Artwod. If you guys have any questions about anything Artwod related, let me know in the comment section below. I'm going to keep the subscription because there's still a couple more things I want to learn from it, and I see the value within it. Like I said, if you have any questions, let me know, and I will do my best to answer them. But until then, let's make some progress.